So for those of you who've been to one of these summits before, you know what these next few hours are. But for those of you who haven't, this isn't like a normal conference where you kind of sit back, fall asleep, scroll, and then turn in your expense report. That is not this summit. All right? This is an opportunity to bring together our energy community and network. This is a chance for you who are from outside the county with your new ideas, your startups, your trolling for money, to meet the people who actually produce and create the energy industry in Kern County. So that's why we do this, right? I mean, the people who are come to speak, they really have other things to do. They're trying to build things. But we come and we do this as an opportunity to bring people together. So we have challenging times in Kern County in energy, and we have accomplished so much over the last 15 years. If there's anybody here who doesn't know who Kern County is, I love that, that Richard's like, she's going to tell us. If there's anybody in this room that doesn't know who we are, I'll give you the highlights, okay? We are a leader in protective oil permitting. We are a leader in wind and solar. We have slid from the first state in wind to 7th because of those pesky people in Iowa and Texas. But when you see that California is first in solar, it's because of Kern County. California is first in solar in the entire United States because of us. And then we lead California in oil and gas. So as a reminder, for those of you who live outside here, if you flip a switch anywhere in California, those are Kern County's green electrons. This power is sold all over. There is no place, no CCA, no city, no utility that hasn't bought a tiny piece of us. That is an investment. And the truth is, it's these companies that are here that have invested. Over 15 years, $87 billion of equity money, private money has been invested in Kern County. Solar, wind, biodiesel, renewables, and billions more have been invested by oil and gas. But the question on everyone's mind is, where are we going? So, first I want to offer you a way to listen. Remember? I said this isn't the one where you scroll and then you check the box. So there's a little bit of entertainment, and I, welcome you winning the flat screen TV so that you can go back and say that you brought something back, right? But I want to offer you a filter to listen today. This is your opportunity to look at your business model and say, what kinds of ideas can I bring forward to fit with these challenging times over the next 5 years? Because that's what we have. The 1 million people in Kern County are counting on us, leaders in government, leaders in industry, to figure out and bring into fruition in the next 5 years an evolved economy in energy. So let's talk about default. So look, you cannot get through your day without an automatic way of operating. And when you drive your car, you get in and some people adjust things, some people get their sunglasses, but this is all automatic. You don't think about it. Default is unexamined. It's unexamined until we stop to look at something. So I'm going to give you an example of some things in our culture that have actually shifted. Long time ago, when you drove your car and you ate a, Snickers bar, you would throw it out the window. That's what you did with the paper. That was automatic. People did it all over the United States for a long time. There was litter everywhere, and it was automatic. I'm just going to throw it out the window. I don't want to, get my nice car messy. And something changed. There was a campaign, there was a design, there was a, thoughtfulness about it, and litter has declined 60% now. There's still thoughtless people, but in reality, it's kind of one of those forbidden acts, right? When your kids automatically do it when you're little, you're aghast. No, we don't throw stuff. What we do is we search for the bag that we thought we had in the car that we can't find, and then we throw it on the floor, and then later we, clean it all up. But at the end of the day, we don't throw it out the window. That's an example of a default. But that didn't happen automatically. People didn't stop throwing litter out the window automatically, right? So think about, in your world, some of the default, unexamined conclusions about energy that the average person has. Now, how many legislators do we have in the room? Okay, they came to the dinner and then they sent their staff, so I'm safe. Okay, I'm safe. I'm safe. All right? Legislators and politicians are smart people, but they also channel the average thinking of their constituents, right? So there's a lot of myths about energy. There's a lot of misinformation about energy, even the cool stuff like solar and wind. A lot of mythology. So those are the default things I want you to start thinking about. Because the question is, what do we do instead of a default? Well, we design it. We create a game plan, we create a roadmap, we execute that, and we have a plan. We did not get here without a plan, without policies that fit over the last 15 years in regards to more protective oil and gas permitting, to solar and wind. There was an evolution of policy. And we didn't just accept the default ideas that the rest of the United States likes to import to California. So how many people here have heard everybody looks at California and says, we want that to be our model, right? You've all heard that? How many people here cringe when you hear that? Yeah, right? I mean, when the rest of the United States says, yeah, we want California. Internally, we live here. We work here. We interact with Sacramento. There are partners and there are enemies. At the end of the day, they're not designing anything. They're defaulting. Now, once again, this is always just an opinion, but this is the opinion of Kern County. This is the energy default world that Sacramento wants to give Kern County. Now remember, why is Kern County so important? Well, we do produce 80% of the oil, 90% of the natural gas, and 60% of the renewables. So it's not like they can ignore us. And so their point is, you need to change. And this is the change that their policies are creating. Some of their policies, their goals are worthy goals. They're goals that we all can look up to. But the way they execute it, this default, everybody knows these things. We have to get rid of oil and gas. We're going to throw hundreds of millions of dollars at workforce, but I don't have the jobs yet. I don't have those industries. There's no place for those people to work. But it's easier to throw money at workforce development than it is to actually create policies that would attract new industries to California. Change your economic models here, change your tax structure, do something. More importantly, the unicorn of change CEQA. So, people come to me all the time and they go, Lorelei, you're an expert on CEQA, you've worked on it since the 70s, let's get CEQA reform. And I always say, it's like a unicorn. It would be beautiful to see, but it's never going to happen, okay? We're never going to have true CEQA reform. It is too tied into too many motives of people who use it. And in reality, it is a good thing to protect the environment. But it's expensive, it's cumbersome, and most of all, it can be used to stop projects for ulterior motives. Not because they want a better project, not because it's a better project, but because they just want to stop something, right? So I think the most important one on this, they say climate change is urgent, but they don't act fast enough. How many people think Sacramento is like a speedy place? And I work very closely with them. I think the staff, I think the people in all these agencies, California Energy Commission, the CPUC, Department of Conservation, are extraordinary. And they are as much in the question of how we get there as anyone. But they're living in the default. What is Kern County's policy? First of all, we're going to support oil and gas innovation. Our oil companies have some of the smartest, innovative people in the United States. And they are innovating. And Kern County is going to support them. We're going to support environmentally protective oil and gas production. Importing our oil from the Amazon and, plowing over rainforest every 10th time I drive is not something that I'm proud of. Okay? That is not something that I'm proud of. So that's something that we support. You can leave this PowerPoint up, please. Thank you. It's magic. All right. We want accountability for new energy projects for local community and fiscal impacts. You can bring your new kinds of projects, but you are not going to come at the deficit of our communities, and you're not going to come at the deficit of our fiscal integrity. Oil produces $90 million of property taxes, and we need to evolve with the oil companies so that we can keep our libraries open, so that we can fund our Meals on Wheels. And the number one thing that California state policy does not do is care about the consequences. They say they care, but they're actually not doing anything to care. So we need to care. We need to figure out solutions, and we need to move quickly. That is what we are known for, and that's what we're going to do. We're not going to break things, we're going to build things. So on the default side of the state of California is sound bites, but no results. And who Kern County is results, and then we'll craft the sound bites. That is who we are, that's who we've been, and that's what we're going to do for the future. And many of the things that you are all doing in this room are designing that roadmap of where we're going. But here's what you need to remember. We don't have enough water. If you have a clean energy system and you want to bring it here, you need to bring water with you. You need to bring water treatment. Bring innovative water treatment, okay? Do not count on you buying water on the market here. You need to bring it with you. And we're going to create a whole water market of cleaning up the water that we have that for generations, because of natural resources, is under the west side of this valley, okay? Bring water. The next thing you need to do is, we're not interested in clean, new hydrogen systems in the middle of communities. It is not where hydrogen belongs. It is not where biomass belongs. It is not even where lithium batteries belong. We have tons and tons and tons of open space, and we can put these things farther away from communities. And I am sorry, but sometimes that's where the transmission is. That's unfortunate, but what we are not going to do is replicate the things that happened in the 40s and the 50s, where we put these kinds of industries next to communities, and then we just said, well, that's the way it goes. I gave you a job. We have not done that for 20 years, and we're not going to start now. So I leave you with the thought that we want an industry that at the Energy Summit in 10 years, that we can say we're proud of what we've created. And we will be proud of our carbon capture and storage projects, our hydrogen, our biomass, our direct air capture, which I had a cool picture, and maybe it's in this, maybe it's in here. But at the end of the day, we will find a place for your industries. So here's the filter. Today, you're going to hear people talking about their industries. And I actually want you to be, in your head anyway, critical and say, is this the always that's always happened this way? And is that where we should go with what we're doing? Or is this a new design? Is this a new idea? And if it is a new idea, does it fit with our communities? Does it fit with where Kern County people want to go inside our projects? But at the end of the day, we need everyone at the table, all industries, and we need to make sure that we are designing this and not just thoughtlessly accepting what the outside interests of Southern California and Sacramento and even Hollywood, who seems to have an opinion to communicate to me all the time, thinks we should do on this. And I'm telling you, Hollywood does not keep the lights on. Hollywood does not fuel cars and trucks and the port. The people in this room do. So whatever we're going to design, let's do it together. Let's not leave our communities out. And most importantly, we need to do it quickly. We're working on a 5-year plan. If we don't stabilize our economy, here's the warning. Like, oh my God, it's so early in the morning, Lorelei, really. I just woke up, I just got coffee. I haven't even looked at my stock price, and here you are scaring me. Okay, we have 5 years to stabilize this economy. Why do I say 5 years? It takes a year and a half, 2 years to do an environmental impact report, and then it takes another year of construction. And someplace in there, you got to get Wall Street to give you money, right? Hopefully that was before you started the EIR. So 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, we'll know what this whole industry is going to look like, where oil's going, and what we're going to be able to accomplish here. And so I'll leave you with the final thought. We are the solution for climate change in California. We are the solution for all the goals. There isn't one goal that Sacramento and CARB and others have put forward that doesn't have a piece where Kern County is the solution. But we're not going to do it by throwing people out of the boat. We're not going to do it by leaving our industries behind, because we cannot do this without them. So thank you so much. At the end of the day, you didn't need a PowerPoint, so I don't even know why I inflicted it on you, okay, right? And I appreciate everyone who's here, and it's time to get to work and find out from our esteemed panels, what are they working on? Thank you.